Hey guys, how are you? I've got my headphones on because, as usual, the frogs are out in full force. I'm going to see how I go with them on because it's kind of simultaneously annoying to feel muted on myself, but also to hear the frogs. So we'll see. I know there's a few of us Aussies around at this time, not many other people, but hopefully some more people will join us. Oh, here we go. We got some more people in here. Oh, hey, Dubia D, aka Cecil. We haven't seen you here before. Welcome. Welcome. What brings you here? Really exciting to see some more new subs coming in and for the community to grow. So lovely to see everyone. Sometimes as well, it's a bit tricky because the names change on here too. So if I say hello and I don't know who you are, it might just be because I'm not seeing your full username. So yeah. Anyway, good to see you all. We're going to finish off our conversation about the cars today. I sort of lost momentum on this one because I've kind of got hooked into lots of other things, which is typical of my mind. I kind of start something and never finish it. But I want to finish this one because we had got ourselves in a tangle with this document where it was literally like the hardest possible uh, comprehension text ever. I just couldn't understand it. Oh, hey, Donald. Oh, your birthday's right around mine. Oh, I'm glad the last few years have been better. Well, we are all here. Come in and celebrate your birthday with us. My birthday is in 7 days, but I'm going to guess that your birthday might be, is it maybe the 26th of November? I'm trying to think. Or will it be the 24th of November? Because I forget what time zones everyone's in. Well, I'm the 27th, but anyway. Great to have you here. And TW, wonderful to see you. You woke up and can't sleep. Oh, well, great. You're always welcome here. And hello, Scott. Nice to see you. Scott's got the wrench. Let's see how he uses it. Don't think any other mods are going to be in here at this time. The 25th, Donald. Awesome. I'm the 27th. So we're birthday buddies. Oh, hey, Sergeant Mike. Nice to see you. Well, lovely to see everybody. It's morning for some of us, very early, but it's evening for some of us too. A few Aussies in here right now. So good to see you guys. We need to get the Aussie view count up though, guys. I've been looking at my YouTube stats and the USA is dominating, which we kind of expect. Oh, hey, Mustang. Nice to see you too. We'd expect that most of our viewers are in the States, given that we're talking about a case in Indiana. But we've got not enough Australians. So come on, Aussies, come join us. Indiana cases are interesting. And Ben, thanks so much for being a regular in here at this time. Okay, so let's get started because we've got to finish this today because otherwise I will never finish the car one. So we've been kind of working on the cars for the last little while after moving on from the phone, which we'll always come back to because the phone's super interesting and there's still so many myths going on around this phone. But let's have a look at the cars. We're going to go back to this document. So anyone who didn't watch part one, please do check it out because we're going to follow on from part one today. You can obviously still join us if you haven't watched part one. You'll still be able to catch up. But yeah, if you want some extra details to fill in the missing gaps, please do check out the video that was from, I don't even know what day, Monday maybe? I'm not sure. Okay. So this is the document that we were looking at. And this was found for us by a lovely community member that is called Sees Through. And Sees Through found this. Oh, goodness. And now I've lost it. And this was a whole list of the cars and the vehicles and the Hoosier Harvest Store timestamps, which a lot of people have missed Sees Through. As Sees Through found out, I think, in Cryptex's live today. I tried to let all eyes know as well on Twitter earlier in the week, but it seems like Sees Through was able to do that. And so now the timeline details have been updated as far as I'm aware off Twitter today. So this is a super helpful document. So really good find from Sees Through. Aw, an Abyssinian, Scott. I love kitty cats. Total cat lady. Actually, I'll pop the comments on the stage so you know what I'm actually talking about and who I'm talking to. So the other day we talked about Wesley McWhirter, and I thought it was a very sneakily worded statement. And oh, hey, Dave, nice to see you. And the thing is with Wesley McWhirter is that the statement is very unusually written. And I was making a massive point here of the fact that if Wesley McWhirter saw a black car backed into the CPS building at 2:28, that would be gold for the state. So I'm just curious as to why they didn't put him on the stand at trial. And that's the sneakiest part of all of this that I've been referring to. So in terms of the case, the flawed case against Richard Allen, that's the part that I really want to emphasize, because I think that that is very suspicious. Does anyone else agree with me? Like, why on earth would Wesley McWhirter not have been called to the stand to testify in favour of the prosecution? Because he's suggested that he's not suggesting, they are suggesting, based on the way weird sentence structure here, that he saw a car that is consistent with Rick's car. Oh, hey, Anna. Hey, Kelly. Oh, my faves are all here. All my friends are coming in. Great to see you guys. Scott, so I looked this up. I know I only need a few more, Al. I'm really excited, Dave. Yeah, we're nearly there. I reckon by tomorrow. So hopefully on the weekend we can have our party because we get to the 1,000 subs. I'm hoping that a lot of these subs are people who do end up engaging with the case. I know we've still got our kind of core people, but I'm seeing a few new names coming in. So let's go to what Scott just said. So Scott, you were saying you thought that why are the comments coming on the screen for you guys? Oh yeah, are they? I don't know. They just don't seem to be showing up. I don't know if they're showing up for you guys on your screen, but they're not on screen yet. On StreamYard. I was going to say ScreenYard. So I looked up Betsy Blair's testimony. So let's have a look at Betsy Blair's testimony. So they didn't actually use Betsy Blair to, oh, give me a second. Put it on the screen. Here it is. They actually didn't use Betsy Blair as a witness for the car at the CPS. Interesting, isn't it? What we notice is that the witnesses that actually talked about the cars around the CPS area were actually used by the defense, not the state. The state didn't use any sort of corroborative testimony or data to suggest that there was a car parked at the CPS. Why not? Any ideas? Why would they not use this? Apparently now we've got Betsy Blair seeing it. We've also got Wesley McWhirter seeing it. So to me, in fact, they try to shut it down, as you can see. So on the cross-examination, the defense says, and at that time you drove past the CPS building and you noticed a vehicle at the building. And look at this. Miss Dina does not want that to go ahead. She says, Judge, the state would object. It's outside the scope of the direct. Or of direct. I mean, that just doesn't make sense, does it? Rick's car comes up in Mullen's testimony, I'm pretty sure. I've got a whole heap of the transcripts today because we're going to look at the wording that people use. Okay. Now, I haven't done the disclaimer. I just remembered that. Everyone knows my disclaimer. You all watch it. The disclaimer will always, I'll pop it all as in the description of the video. But yeah. Oh, thanks, Dave. That's lovely of you. So can you guys see the comments on the screen? Can you guys let me know? Because I'm not seeing them on my screen. So I just want to make sure that anyone watching the replay can see them. Okay. So yeah, so basically this is Betsy Blair's testimony. Looks like the state really didn't want to talk about the car she saw. Now, some people could speculate that's because she saw the older style vehicle and that would be problematic. But I think it's more than that, because if they didn't want to use her testimony of the vehicle, then why did they not want to use Mr. McWhirter's testimony? Because according to this, the way that it's worded, it makes it seem as though The car was seen, that sounds like a small black car. Is that right? What does he say? Let's go back to it. Described a car, a smaller dark coloured car parked at the old CPS building. So come on, why would they not want to use Wesley McWhirter? Anyone got a logical reason? Because the only reason I can think of, and I think Anarch maybe was saying this as well, was that this is not very good intel. Because I don't know if Wesley McWhirter saw that car when he was going on a lunch break or when he was actually leaving work. Because I think if he saw it when he was leaving work, they had that time stamped on the Hoosier Half Store footage. And so there'd be no reason that that would not be used as a really wonderful piece of evidence for the state. It's these things that feel incredibly sneaky. Okay. Oh, did I not put it back on the screen? I think I put it back on the screen now. There you go, guys. There we go. So that's the description. Small, dark coloured car. Possibly a smart car. Well, that could be fine, right? Yeah, I agree with you, Anarch. Likely unreliable intel. Okay. So to me, that's a problem. I don't think that that is indicating that this is a particularly strong argument. They used it in the PCA and they've got it in this document here. But if it were as strong as they made it out to be, they would have used that at trial. And to me, again, that suggests that probably, and this is all my speculation, but I'm going to speculate that the car that Wesley McWhirter saw at the CPS building was probably there earlier. Possibly he left earlier, or it was there earlier, or who knows? I don't know. Did he do a delivery? Did he go out for lunch? I don't know. I just feel like there's something very odd about that. So that's another one of our points that we're going to remember. Wesley McWhirter. It's nothing to do with Wesley himself. I have no issue with any of the witnesses and their testimony. I mean, memory's fallible, but I just feel like there's something sneaky going on around here. Okay, so Scott's saying that, how was the HHS pics of Rick's car introduced? Does anyone know? I'm pretty sure. Let me pull up Mullen because I feel like it's Mullen. Got all these tabs ready to go. I was just doing a little bit of research before we started. So this was the first direct examination of Mullen. Gosh, he comes up so many times in here. So let's go Hoosier Harvest Store. Okay. It says the last time you were on the stand, you testified that. Okay. So I don't know when that was. That must have been earlier then. But yeah, so I think it comes in through Mullen, though, talking about the Hoosier Harvest Store. But even that, like we said before, is odd because it seems as though they weren't looking for that black car. It was only in 2022 when they realized Rick Allen was someone who they should look into. They went back and had a look to see if they could spot his car. You know, that car at 127 that was driving on the road towards the CPS building. They'd never put two and two together before, had they? Why not? Why'd they never put two and two together before? I'm not sure that makes sense. Oh, hey, See-Through, you're here for your famous video. These ones are dedicated to you, See-Through, because you were the one that helped us find this document. And I was just saying before that you shared it in Cryptex's chat, or you were talking about in Cryptex's chat today, and they listened to you because I don't always get listened to when I was suggesting, not from Cryptex, but I mean other people. So I'm glad that people have now seen this document and recognize that we have timestamps and we have colors of cars and things like that. So thanks, See-Through, for bringing that to our attention. I'm always happy if other people talk to other creators on my behalf as well, because I don't always get through to many people. So yeah, but this was also your document find anyway, Cecily, so you own it. So I'm just having a look at the comments. Scott saying it could shake his testimony like the defense did with Sarah Carbar, and yet they decided to use Sarah Carbar. I mean, isn't her testimony to me was a lot weaker than apparently what Wesley McWhirter's would be, don't you think? Because Sarah Carbar had, not come forward straight away. She changed her testimony. She was she was described as a more volatile witness. Whereas, I don't know Wesley McWhirter, but it's pretty simple. If his car is leaving the Hoosier Harvest store at 2:28, and that's when he saw the car parked at the CPS, that's a pretty simple story. It's sort of similar to Brad Heath's story where he came and talked about the old car. So, yeah, I just feel like there's a reason here that they haven't used it. And I feel that reason is that most likely Mr. McWhirter saw that car at another time. I just don't think there's a good reason not to include it. I just think, I can see why they use Carver, but I can also not understand why they didn't use the fact that other people saw a car there. There are multiple people who saw cars at the CPS area or in that area that day, and it was just all conveniently ignored, even though that was also a part of their strategy. That was a part of the change of direction press conference. So why are we now? And they did use it. They used it against Rick because they made sure that they cornered him into saying he parked there, and they used that as a reason that he was bridge guy. And they used the Hoosier Harvest store footage, but they stills, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But yeah. So anyway, I guess long story short, I don't think that there is a good explanation. There's something, yeah, I think it's strategic. I think it's strategic because I don't think that the wording of this. Oh, hey, Kai and Spooky here. Kai's come. What do you think, Kai? What's the reason? He's just interested in cuddles now. He says cars are not his thing. So yeah. Oh, there you go. Scott's conceded. We got Scott to concede. Who else thinks it's strange? Does anyone else think it's totally normal and fine for McWhirter to have not testified? I just think it's odd, right? Okay, so let's keep going down our list. Hello, everybody who's lurking. Come and join us. It's always a fun chat at this time. Lovely to see everybody. So, yeah, don't lurk. Join us, everybody. This channel is very much a community and a nice community. So, join us. We've got a whole mixture of opinions in here. I always say it proudly because as much as I'd love everybody to think that Rick is innocent like I do, I actually really love the fact that the channel is not overly biased in one direction. Did I see your comment, Scott? Scott says, did you see that comment I made about who could have seen the car? I did. I've been curious about that too. Okay, so the comment that Scott had made to me and we discussed was to do with whether you'd be able to see that car coming from different directions. So we'll have a look at the map in a minute and we can do that for sure. C3 says, I don't think where he parked was ever in dispute at trial, was it? His own PI said he parked there, so maybe they thought the witness was unneeded. Yeah, so anyone who knows my timeline, I don't have an issue with Rick parking at the CPS, which again goes against, I guess, a dominant narrative in the free Rick Allen kind of side of things. But what I do have an issue with is that I think that car was parked there between 1 and 2. And I think it's separate to the older style car that was seen by Betsy Blair and Brad Heath. And so, yeah, to me, McWhirter wouldn't be used to verify that the car was there, but he'd be used to verify that the car was still there at 2:28. Because if Rick can still park there at 2:28, that certainly looks a lot more suspicious. Unless he spent longer on the trails than he initially said, which wouldn't be an issue, and he sat on the other bench. We're going to look into the other bench idea. That was something we talked about earlier today in the brief live. The only other thing I can think of is that I'm going to have to relook at the timeline, actually, because thinking about the other bench, that might be a possibility. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud, everybody. I'm a bit disorganized again today. Apologies as always. I know that I go off on a zillion different trains of thinking, and anyone new to the channel will know that this ends up being a little bit of a brainstorm sometimes, and discoveries and evolutions of ideas as we talk. So that's kind of the content some days. Other days it's a lot more organized as well. So Kelly, Kathy did talk about different places they parked as well. My sense is, they really moved around and parked in different spots, which is not unusual for a trail system, right? So yeah. So in the chat, who oh, wait a second. Let's see what Scott's saying. It gets tricky, Amy, because of the number of people that were there. Why didn't anyone seem to see Rick there at all? Well, Scott, I still believe that he was seen by, I think, the girls, Bree Wilbur, because Bree says in her testimony that she saw one or two people as they were coming back from the as they were coming back from the Monon High Bridge. So I believe he saw those girls and Bree saw him. I just don't know if the other girls did. We don't know because essentially Rayleigh and Bree were the ones that were kind of relied upon. And I don't know that Isabel Voorhees was ever actually interviewed. And also, I don't believe that. I think is it Anna? Is the other one? I don't believe that she was interviewed at length either. So also, as I said before, I think memory is very, very poor, particularly when you are girls walking around, having fun, taking photos, not really paying attention. I don't think it's as concerning as it sounds that four girls didn't notice a man. But yes, Bree Wilbur definitely does say that she sees more than one person. Should we pull up that testimony? Because I keep mentioning it. And Kelly said, I have mentioned it. We've talked about it, and I think I read it in the timeline video way back. But let's bring it up because I think it's actually important because it's something that a lot of people ask, and this is where when I say that he saw the girls, it's not a negative. It's not agreeing with the state's theory. I think that the girls potentially saw more than one person. Okay, so oh goodness, I'm messing around with my screen. So give me 1 second. I'm going to just find Bree Wilbur's testimony. And while I'm doing that, feel free to chat away with each other. Okay, it's pretty quick to pull up. So here we go. And I'm going to skip down. I'll make it a bit bigger. So if anyone wants to read along. Just got to find the spot. I was like, what word can I search to find this? Let's keep going. Sometimes it's a little annoying because we've got to kind of go through all of this together. Because it was on the day. Okay, might be up further up. Okay, so after the picture was taken at the bench, did you see people on your way out of the High Bridge Trail to town? And she said, yes, we saw maybe one or two people on our way out. And was there anyone that caught your attention? Yes. And that's when they talk about Bridge Guy. But you can see she says one or two people. She doesn't say that's the only person. I think it's Rayleigh who says she sees a dog walker as well. Again, another person that hasn't been mentioned by anyone. So I suppose what I'm saying here again is that we're seeing that there isn't a whole lot of consistency, and that's not suspicious. I'll always say that it isn't suspicious. It is memory fallibility. But the fact that she says one or two people to me suggests there could have been another person. But remember, Bree is relying upon a 2020 interview now. Our memory would be degraded, but also contaminated. So much memory contamination in this case because people have all talked to each other, people have watched news coverage. It's been many years. Yeah. The dog walker, I don't think has been, not the earlier dog walker, Scott. So the later dog walker is David Riley, but the earlier one, no. I have heard another name, but I don't believe that's the right name. I believe that's the person that is in a news article talking about being on the trails the next day. So no, I don't think they've ever confirmed who the dog walker is. So yeah, I don't think that any of those people are suspicious. Yeah. But the thing is again, we're seeing how it could be quite easy to miss someone. I'll definitely redo a timeline video. I'm going to look into it a bit again and kind of refine it, and we'll come back to this because I think it's important. But I guess for the purposes of today and talking about the cars, it's kind of Wesley McWhirter that I'm I'm just curious as to why they didn't use him as a witness. Okay, let's keep going down and let's look at the other cars, and then we'll go through the summary of all the points. Actually, one other thing I wanted to say. So I told you I'd come back to the whole Hoosier Harvest Store camera situation that kind of kicked off last week. So one of the things I've been raising a lot that I was actually incorrect on in terms of the law was that the only thing stipulated to was the video itself, the FBI verified video. But apparently legally, once they've stipulated the video, then anything that is retrieved from the video is also allowed, apparently, and that's part of the stipulation, which I thought is just absurd because, as we know, that video, the still shots look degraded, and Mullen actually says in his testimony that he doesn't know. Oh, hey Beasley, yeah, David Riley was the later dog walker, yeah, but he didn't arrive till I think about 2:30 or 2:25. I think it was. It's coming up actually. That's coming up on our list here. Let's see, actually he parks at 2:30, so he can't be the one that Rayleigh Voorhees talks about because they'd already left by then. So I don't know if there was another person walking a dog earlier that day. Also hard to know because the girls walked obviously over the small bridge as well. I don't know exactly how far they walked along, through other streets as well. So it's hard to know. They were on foot that day. Did they see the dog walker, prior to the Freedom Bridge? It's so hard to know because we don't have very detailed statements from any of the witnesses. I imagine that there are detailed statements, or there were. Some of them may have been recorded over though. So yeah. I guess I wasn't aware that if they agreed to the FBI verified video, that then law enforcement could just use whatever stills or screenshots they wanted to do. So I just think, like, to me, that's a little bit absurd that that's just automatically allowed. But I do agree with you, Scott. It was the defense that needed to dispute that. Yeah, I don't know if they just thought, oh, well, the car's so blurry, we don't need to bother with that. Maybe that was the reason. And I guess that sounds like that might have been the approach. But yeah, I don't know. It's like on the one hand, they're like, no, you can't use this evidence and you can't use that evidence. But then on the other hand, you can use that, absurd evidence like that. So I don't know. Like, cause so I was thinking, well, like, then how do we know that that's actually from that video? And I'm not suggesting anyone has got something that wasn't from the video, but like, how do you know? It's like if I have a video and I go, oh, it's accepted now, so now I'll put on 7 different filters on that video and it will look completely different. It just, yeah, to me, I don't doesn't ring true as to like, it doesn't seem fair, I suppose. Sorry guys, I'm struggling with my words tonight. I think I'm a little bit tired, but yeah. So essentially, I thought maybe that was a big issue, that like aha moment. Look, we gotcha, but no, it's not a gotcha moment. Well, you would think that, Scott, the defense would have disputed it. And as I've always said, I'm not here to, what do they say, Monday morning quarterback or any of that, because, we obviously were not, part of all of this. And I understand that there's so many angles and things they have to think about. But I think this sort of fits in the category with the geofencing. I just think, like, I think that there was a focus on certain areas to the detriment of others, and I guess that's going to always be the case in anything, that when you're juggling so many different avenues of research and evidence, it's going to be impossibly hard. I know, I mean, even for us, as we're kind of going through all this evidence, I mean, look how many videos I've made, look how many hours that we've spoken about this, and there's still so much more, and then you forget what you've already talked about. So I can only imagine what it was like for the defense as well. Everyone else is being quiet. Where is everybody? Come on, guys. Let's chat. Don't worry. Like, this today is not a very technical discussion. Like, it's very much like us thinking about whether things seem a little bit weird or illogical. So definitely want to hear your point of view here. But yeah, I'm disappointed that Mullins could just take his own screenshots and put them in. I've definitely become a bit of an investigator for sure. And I think what I found, I suppose, about the legal system, and I don't know if this is the case everywhere, but in this case particularly, is everything just feels a little bit fractured from each other. And I've talked before about systems thinking and, integrative kind of work. And I was even thinking that before I started today, that I would quite like to do like a bit of a mind map, or like, I don't know, matrix of some sort that sort of shows all of the various different things that are connected in this case. Because even as yesterday, I did a really brief live and was talking about, what we've looked at so far. There are so many different angles, and I just think that when you look at it all, if one angle is seen without the context of others, it loses its meaning. And I think that's what I've always mentioned. If we go back to the phone stuff and, the digital experts, without cross referencing with other information, you're going to not get the most, what's the word? Integrated theory, I suppose. Again, it's like if I do a psychological assessment and I only meet Rick. I don't meet Kathy, and I don't look at his past history. And in isolation, if I just met Rick when he was incarcerated during a psychiatric breakdown, well, then that's all I'm going to see. How can I make an assessment of him? And so that's my sense with this investigation, that a lot of this stuff was just in isolation, bits and pieces. And when you're putting bits and pieces out there and you're not seeing the kind of coherent whole, I think that's probably where things have gone wrong. Again, not saying that I'm an expert here, but I kind of feel like this would be, I've always I love all of this stuff. And I was thinking about, I guess, my future and whether this could be part of my future. I mean, not just Delphi, but helping in the criminal justice system. And, yes, I could do the sort of expert witness and the big long reports, but that's not really my thing. I hate writing reports, but I would love to be like a consultant and just basically be the person that finds the ways to thread things together, because I think that's kind of what I try to do on this channel. I kind of try to put everything in context and see how things can be synthesized and integrated. But yeah, absolutely too compartmentalized. So it's like you have this whole team of people, but they're all working in completely disconnected offices from each other. Well, then how on earth are you going to get the coherent story? And I mean, we use this all the time in psychology. If you just try to be compartmentalized and like, okay, we will do mindfulness skills now, and now we will do a now we will do cognitive challenging. It's like, no, you kind of need to be able to see how they layer together. Otherwise, you end up sounding quite contradictory. And I think that's what happens, certainly in my job. Early in our careers, we struggle with this, but the more practice you get and the more you kind of allow your mind to see all the nuance, the better. So yeah, it's sort of all about nuance and curiosity and integration. Yeah. And I think the people who have joined me here in this community in the chat, I think we're all kind of these systems thinkers where we're very integrative and open-minded. And that's why we can have a community of people who both think Rick is guilty, people who think he's innocent, and everywhere in between. And I think that's why our conversations last for hours, but they're really interesting too. I'm always, I find it really stimulating and enjoyable to talk about, even though obviously we're talking about dark stuff. And I think you guys do too, because you keep coming back, which is nice, and we're growing as well. But yeah, so yes, I think not so much like a investigation. I don't really know. I think it'd be like an innocence project kind of thing. Like I feel like I just see myself swinging in my hammock at my cat sanctuary and deep diving into digital data and transcripts and things like that. I just feel like it would be a really good thing to do, and I think that the benefit of a lot of us who have emotional intelligence and, whether it's psychologically minded because we've had our own struggles or we've studied psychology and we're very interested in understanding perspectives, that context is so important here too. Oh, yeah. Oh, genealogy. Yeah. Yeah. That's super interesting as well, right? Yeah, I agree with all of you guys. You guys are like my people. Whenever I see you guys around in the chat, I'm so excited because I'm like, oh, you guys get this, and it's so good to see that layered approach. And It's confusing though, and it's like juggling 100 different balls. And definitely some days I feel like I've like lost track of everything. So that's when I'm always like saying to you guys, oh, does that make sense? Am I on track? Because it can feel really, really confusing. Yeah, I agree with you, see through the cam footage, like the CCTV. Yeah, I wonder what was in that. So frustrating that we can't have the full discovery, isn't it? I would just love to be able to see everything. I mean, I think that we've done so well with what we do have available, which is limited. So imagine if we had the full discovery. Imagine if we had that. We could all like work together as our own little investigative club. You know what? We could be called Daisy's Investigative Services. And I'm not doing that to be narcissistic because Daisy is a dog, not me. It's her spirit. We're all falling into her spirit as opposed to it being my investigative services, just letting you know. Oh, hey, Quietly Concerned. Lovely to see you. I know. I'm sorry. The time difference is really annoying, isn't it? Because I notice like um there's no universally good time for all of us other than maybe on the weekend. I think there are times where it's better, but yeah, this time's the best for me, but I know it's not great for the people in the northern hemisphere. But oh, it's nice to see you guys. We don't have actually a whole lot of UK viewers either, so guys, we got to spread the word. USA is still the kind of core group, of course. Okay. So, well, yeah, I agree with you, see through. They should be able to find that. It should be, I mean, I believe that's in Discovery. I don't know. I know there was a lot of Discovery, but there's just a few key pieces I'd love to see. Okay, well, let's get back to the cars. Gosh, see, we're just going off on lots of tangents, but I think that's what's required. It's just because this is linked to that and that's linked to that and it's all linked together. And I think once we've worked through all the key pieces of evidence, I think we can do that matrix for sure. And we'll just use our old terms of the cold shock theory and the lost tip narrative. And I don't think the Hoosier Harvester Mirage has really worked. We're going to have to come up with another one for that. But yeah, I think that we will be able to then thread them all together. Oh, I'm glad you guys like the tangents. I know I just overthink it sometimes as I'm talking, and I'm thinking, I hope people are following me because I literally do feel like I'm like jumping all over the place. But as we've said, that's what this channel's about. I always think the channel is us brainstorming together. So we are Daisy's little crew, and we'll all work together. And I love the kind of back and forth about things. And I know once I've convinced Scott that we must be on the right track because Scott is definitely the devil's advocate, aren't you, Scott? Okay. Well, the cars are super interesting, Kelly. And I always think that the Hoosier Harvester stuff was one of the first things that really pulled me in because I was definitely concerned about that car and the timing and the timeline and stuff. And so the cars are useful. And so if this car timeline falls apart, which I think it does, because otherwise, why would they not have used more of these witnesses? And it's just, they ignored Brad Heath, Betsy Blair's car issues, this completely inconsistent descriptions of a car. Now we're forgetting about Wesley McWhirter. I believe as well that Teresa Lieberg also says she saw a car parked at the CPS between the hours of 1 and 1:30 or something like that too. So, yeah. Is it cold there, Anarch? You know what I was thinking? I was cleaning my pool at the end of today and I was like, I know what our 1,000 sub party is going to be. It's going to be a pool party. But I was like, that's a bit mean, isn't it? It's kind of rubbing it in your faces. But you guys, not so much you guys, but I know that the Americans were really rubbing their hot summer in my face when it was freezing here. So it's payback time. These frogs are driving me nuts, though. That is the one terrible thing about summer here. And I noticed even when I listen back to my lives, I can hear them. Can you guys hear them? How awful these bloody frogs are. I'm going to have some really fun shorts for you guys over Christmas time. So we actually will have a fourth member of our digital forensic pets team because we dog sit a little dog over Christmas, and he's a little cavoodle, and he loves the pool, like literally to the point where we can't let him go in there because he will stay in there for the entire day. And we're just so worried. Like we're looking after this dog, and I'm like, this dog's gonna like kill himself just swimming all day, just swims and swims and swims. So yes, I will put some doggy videos of him having his pool party when he arrives with us around Christmas time. Yeah, so that'll be fun. I reckon he could go viral with that. He's just amazing. Whereas Spooky, not interested in the pool at all. Okay. Yes. Well, I will sip my virgin mojito by the pool with my 1,000 subs uh soon enough. Yeah. We're going to keep an eye out for those. The boys went to bed tonight and they were like, "How many subs do you have, mummy?" And I was like, "Oh, I wanted to get to 1,000 before they went to bed, but it didn't happen, sadly." What are we up to now? 983. Okay. Thank you, Dave. I know Dave just contributed to that. It's a quiet time now, though. Usually overnight it picks up a little bit because I guess our main audience is, as I said, the States, and the States are mostly asleep right now. And so they should be, right? Yeah, they're very invested. They're very, very invested in my channel, and they want to go to school and tell their friends, and then they were like, "Yeah, but our friends won't know how hard it is to get 1,000 subs." And I'm like, "Yeah." It's also pretty hard for them to explain to their friends, what mum does. They're still pretty young to be talking about true crime. They do know about Rick Allen and the bridge. They don't know the extent of it, though, of course, because it's scary, obviously, for kids. So I do think it will be 1,000 by the morning, for sure. When the boys first were looking at what I was doing, they were like, "What happened?" I was like, "Oh, the girls just fell off the bridge. They just got hurt. Like I had to be so careful." But they're not young enough to be that naive, so they understand bad things happen. Definitely. And that's why we talk about stranger danger and all of that stuff. And I don't dwell on that point. They usually just talk about Rick and how Rick and Kathy love cats because we all love cats here. Anyway, okay. So yes, they want to come to the 1,000 sub party. Now, I don't really want my children to be on YouTube. So I said to them, if they want to be involved, I either pre-record a video with a filter or they have to wear masks. So, or the little one said he'll use a toy and he will talk on behalf of the toy. Yes, I absolutely do that too, Scott. Like I even say to them, like, even if it's another kid, like do not go with anybody. Do not listen to anybody. I think that's the impact of the James Bulger case. That case just, it just is horrible. And my kids are not that little anymore, but still, even a teenager, like you can trust anyone, right? I mean, gosh, kids trust so easily. I see it all the time. I mean, I'm being the sort of character that I am, you can imagine, I get on well with kids, and kids will just talk to me all the time, like just out and about. And it worries me because if they're that at ease with me, does that mean they'd be that at ease with people who could be predatory too? So anyway, that's another story. Sorry. Okay, let's get back to track. Get back to track. I don't know what my words are doing today. Quietly concerned, I saw you wrote something and I missed it. Let me just see if I can find it. The evidence is a mess because the people responsible for it were useless. If we studied it 24/7, I doubt we could make sense of it. Thanks for trying, Amy. Oh, thanks, quietly concerned. Yeah, look, I've always been dubious as to whether we'd actually be able to ever fully get justice for the girls, but I do think buried in that evidence is the key for justice for Rick Allen. And that's the main reason I'm so excited about the amount of subs I have, because literally the main reason that I kind of tried to get more of a profile in this case, 984 guys, was because I just wanted to catch the attention of the right people in this case, like the lawyers and the media and things like that. Like that's literally my aim here. And I was like, well, how will I get people to take me seriously? Well, if I can have a channel where I show how I'm working through the evidence, where I show that I'm not just throwing out suggestions that don't make sense, and maybe my credibility will um, be seen as good, right? And so that's my hope here. I think if I just keep putting out Delphi content and keep trying to keep this Delphi content layered and research based and logical, hopefully one day, people will go, oh yes, this person, might know what they're talking about, and let's take some of her ideas seriously. And I've been pretty impressed so far. I definitely know that there are people who are important in this case who have looked me up on LinkedIn. So I think I'm pretty excited about that, because to me that suggests that there's a little bit of vetting going on. And my LinkedIn shows, I suppose, that I do have experience in what I say I do, and that's exciting. But obviously, I can't share that with everybody online, because you really don't know who you're talking to online, and all the doxing and things like that. But yeah, I have shared my information with the lawyers, and at least a couple of them, actually, yeah, a few of them, several of them have interacted with me, not in any depth, really. Well, not much depth, but enough for me to know that maybe I'm making a bit of a difference. I hope so. That's my only real goal here. I mean, my secondary goal is to use this space, now that it's become what it is, as a launching pad for the secondary goal, or the primary goal that I've had, for many years of my life, and that is to basically just talk about psychological well-being with the rest of the world, and to make therapy available to everybody, not behind a paywall. And when I say therapy, just therapeutic concepts. I can't do therapy through YouTube, but just providing information that could support people in understanding themselves and others, and building self-compassion and compassion to others. That's my goal in life. Ash always says transpersonal karma. That's kind of my goal in this life. RC991, lovely to see you as always. So good to see you. We're off on a million tangents. I know RC991 doesn't mind our tangents. Kelly says cranks are bothering Cresher, who is a Daybell victim family member, because, yeah, the hidden true crime drama's still going, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, thanks, RC991. I'm really, really, humbled by the fact that people are checking it out. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole hidden true crime stuff is just really sad, honestly. I just look, I don't agree with the opinions of the channel when it comes to the Delphi case, but at the end of the day, I don't know why it has to become a witch hunt either. It just, yeah, I never get that sort of stuff. I'm the sort of person that, like, if you've upset me, I will, I want to speak my truth and get it out there, and then just move, and then I want to move on, essentially. Like, I just think, why can't we just repair? And why can't everybody just live and let live? It just doesn't happen, though, which is such a shame. I don't also like the mocking of her appearance. I think that's just really unnecessary. You can not like someone, you can disagree with their perspective, but I just don't think that you should be mocking people's appearance either. And I absolutely hate these terms like playing victim and things like that. I think that's pretty awful. Have you not heard of Turtle Boy, Scott? Yeah, he was the guy that was with the Karen Reid case. I didn't really follow the Karen Reid case too much, but I know a lot of the people that follow Delphi did. So he's the guy that was really helping with the Karen Reid case. Quite a big character now in the true crime world. Look, I listened to some of Lauren's updates on the trial. Definitely, they were quite accessible. They weren't as long sometimes as the others. I listened to a bit of everyone. I think the things I disagreed with was the kind of heavy lean into guilt, and then there were just a couple of statements made about Rick and psychology and his psychological treatment that worried me, and concerned me. And I think that that put me off, but the overall coverage and, the accuracy of what was said and whatever was fine. Yeah. Yeah, quietly concerned. Same. Like I definitely don't. I was I subscribed? I would have been subscribed probably during the trial, and then um, I noticed that I just I had to step back when it leaned too heavily into guilt. But yeah, I think so much of what we heard from trial was filtered through everybody's own biases, and I always say this: we all have our biases, and there's nothing well, that's not that there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, they are problematic, but it's natural to have them. I think we just have to own them. And I always own my biases, even if I don't like to, because that is the only way that we can try and actually see things more clearly. And I'm certainly not trying to pretend that I'm preaching as some person who does that all the time, but I do try to. And I think that there were biases in the coverage from all sides. So yeah, and that just confuses issues. So, of course, all of that would have been a moot point if there had been cameras allowed, right? Exactly. There you go, Scott. Exactly. I don't know Kresha actually either. I just saw her name come up, but yeah. Oh, quietly concerned. I'm with you on that. I'm 100% with you. I found, yeah, I found that analysis a little bit yeah, hard to agree with. I wouldn't be collegial, but yeah, I have a very, very different opinion of Rick, as you all know. Um, and it's just so unfortunate because I really feel like that's an avenue that could be explored better as well. So, okay, guys, let's get back to the cars. Let's get back to the cars. Okay, so let's move on from Wesley. We've got David Riley, who is the dog walker. Now, this was the confusing one that we were all talking about last time when we figured it out. And then someone asked me again in chat the other day, and I was like, I can't remember what we were saying. So I think so. Dave McCain. No, not Dave McCain. Sorry. Why are there so many people with the same name? No, it's not no one's fault, but it's like, oh, thanks, Kelly. That's really kind of you. I was like, I kept seeing Anna saying Alma, and I'm like, is that a word I don't know? And now I've realized you're talking to Scott, right? Because I was like, oh, that's why I wasn't saying anything, Anna, because I was like, am I supposed to know this word, Alma? There you go. That was funny. Really appreciate you guys talking. Look, there's only probably about 5 or 6 of us talking, and there's 19 people in here watching. Like maybe some people are just listening and they're resting and trying to get to sleep or waking up. But please definitely come in and chat if you're listening and you're able to. We love hearing from everybody. In the room now, the people who are talking, how many of us believe Rick is innocent and how many believe Rick is guilty? Should I do one of those polls? There's not many of us in here, but we'll still do a poll. Let's do it. Give me a sec. I got to open up the video on YouTube because it doesn't let me do this on StreamYard for some reason. And let's just do a subscriber check too. 985, guys. 15 to go. So I'm so excited. I can't even believe it. I remember when I got to 200. Oh, hey, USA Libertarian. So good to see you. I remember when I got to 200, that was when my niece was just leaving to go back overseas, and the boys were like, that's it, next is 400, and then it's this, and I was like, no, like, this is good if I've just got a few people that come back and look, but yeah, I had no expectation of ever getting to 1,000, and the way things are going, I think it will just keep going up, which is just so exciting. Okay, who believes Rick is guilty? And you know what? It's going to be binary. Scott's not going to like this. No nuance here. Yes or no. Here we go. I'll pop that in the chat there. Okay. All right. Yeah, no worries at all. Quietly concerned. Yeah, you go get ready and yeah, listen or catch the replay. Yeah. Okay. Did I miss anything? I'm just seeing. I was on YouTube. Okay. Oh, Scott always needs a third option. My goodness. No, you know what? In reality, I love that. I love the continuum as opposed to binaries. But It doesn't work that well with these polls. Particularly, YouTube only gives you a certain number of options too. Anyway, look, guys, I have deviated a lot, and anyone on the replay is going to be like, this is getting boring now. And I often get those comments where it's like, you wasted too much time. So let's get back to the car. So Dave Riley was heading east, and he was passing the cemetery, and he saw this guy, Fred Coghill, and he's on video at 2:25 going eastbound. So this is Dave Riley's timestamp, 2:25 going eastbound towards the cemetery. So this is Fred's timestamp. Right, we've worked this out last time. So Fred is going east at 2:25 and then west, leaving the cemetery at 2:30, and then Riley parks at the trailhead at 2:30. Which is east and west again? I'm so confusing. What percent are you at now, Scott? I think most of us in here are free recalendars, aren't we, at the moment? West is heading from CPS to Hoosier Harbour Store. So east, if you were going to Mears from the east, you would go past the Hoosier Harbour Store? Is that right? Yes, Anna, you can do up to 4 options. You're right, you can. But 4 isn't even enough sometimes. I'm like, come on, guys, let us have unlimited. But yeah, it's only 4. From CPS. Okay, so that's why I'm just getting confused with the timestamp still then, because when did Riley then go past the Hoosier Harbour Store? Because it's like approximately 2:30, but then to me, he's on the video going eastbound. It sounds like it's the same person going eastbound and then westbound, but maybe he's going eastbound towards the cemetery and then he parks at, I don't know. I have no idea. This is just too confusing. Okay, I've got the map. Let's put the map again. Share this tab instead. Okay, so we've got Dave Riley. He's heading, what did I say? Eastbound, which means he's going that way towards the cemetery. But then he wouldn't actually pass the cemetery. So how does he see the silver car? Do you guys see what I'm saying? I'm not sure if I'm missing the point. It says, Dave Riley advised he came to the trailhead from the east. Okay. Oh, okay. So he came from that direction, which is why he's not on the Hoosier Harbour Store camera, guys. Okay, I get it. Right. So Dave Riley has come from this direction. He's seen Fred Coghill here, and he's then parked here, and he's left at 2:55. Fred Coghill has passed the Hoosier Harbour Store on the way to the cemetery, and then he's gone back. So Fred must have just gone there to maybe put some flowers down or something. So literally he went to the cemetery for like a minute. Well, not a minute, but maybe like a couple of minutes, maybe just to pick someone up or to drop some flowers or something like that. It's a very quick trip to the cemetery, isn't it? Super quick trip to the cemetery. The timing's a little bit close as well, right? Because, so the cemetery would have to be, because we know that Hoosier Harbour Store to Mears is about half a minute. So I'm guessing it might be a minute. So if you account for the 2 minutes, he's only there for 3 minutes. Is he picking someone up? Yeah, I mean, do we know what Coghill sees through? Because I don't really feel like, was that in that? I couldn't see Coghill saying anything. He may not have noticed a truck if it was on the road and he was driving past it, because Riley doesn't go to the cemetery, right? This is confusing. Yeah, I mean, it could be long enough to place flowers or move them, but I mean, that's very quick, isn't it? Like, how did he get there, jump out of the car? I just think, like, when you go to a cemetery, are you just jumping out of the car? It just feels like that's more picking someone up. Like a drive-by. It really doesn't feel long enough, does it? Or is that just me? And I'm not suggesting Fred Coghill is someone that's, of concern. I've said this last time. It seems to me as though Fred's a sort of older name, but I mean, I don't want to be judging someone, but I feel like he's an older person. But yeah, that's actually really odd now that I think about it. I mean, like even when I go past a cemetery where I don't even know people, there's one, near where I pick up my kids from school, I literally like would spend longer pausing at an unknown person's grave. That just seems very odd. And there's nothing else at that cemetery, right? Hmm. And says the legal systems in both US and UK are stacked to the nines at the moment. Yeah. Oh, Scott, you don't want to speculate. We're allowed to speculate. No, look, I'm not going to make some wild, what's the word? Wild theories about Fred Coghill. Most of you know I don't really think of anyone as particularly suspicious, except maybe some of the third party suspects. I don't really have suspicion around anyone else. I'm sure Fred Coghill is not anyone suspicious, but it's just an interesting. I wonder. Yeah, was he picking someone up from there? I guess the timing as well. And again, not putting any shade on him, but look at the timing as well. It's like that sort of range around the time when the girls would have been crossing the creek or just crossed the creek. So again, he would not have had time to go down there. So I'm not at all speculating that he's got anything to do with that. But I wonder if he were picking someone up, who was that, and were they in that area? But just curious. This doesn't may not be anything. Okay. Anyway, so that's making sense of what's going on there. So then Dave Riley arrives and it's empty at the trailhead, which makes sense, right? Because Betsy Blair left just about 10 or so minutes before. And then we've got when he's gone for his little walk and he's come back, which is only a brief walk. By the time he comes back, Shelby Hicks's car's there. She came with Daniel Pearson and Dave McCain's tan Accord. The magic find here is also there as well. So just remembering Dan McCain's car, the tan Accord, is highly unlikely now to be the car on the Hoosier Harvest Store footage that we were speculating it could have been before we knew that's what he drove. And then he leaves at 2:55. So at 2:55, the only people there are Daniel Pearson and Shelby Hicks and Dave McCain, which I think is fairly consistent with their witness statements. Everyone's gone quiet. Oh, here we go. RC's talking about David McCain. Yeah, I don't really feel David McCain is someone I would consider in this case. And again, just my opinion, of course. I guess we've got fairly definitive arrival and departure time. He's an older man as well. I don't know David McKay, don't know what his history is, but I don't feel as though he has any indicators that would suggest he'd be involved in a sadistic crime. I think that's we're going to talk about this tomorrow in the Forensic Unicorn Live, but I really just think that the nature of this crime does tell us a lot about the type of offender we're likely looking at. And I just think that this is someone, I believe, who has sadistic tendencies and probably hasn't got to the age of, late 70s and then would be involved in a crime like this. But yeah. And yes, I agree with you, Scott. I mean, David McCain's seen, and I mean, this is the same with Daniel Pearson. I know a lot of people have talked about Daniel Pearson as well. I mean, these people, so Shelby Hicks is with Daniel Pearson and David McCain, they're seen by multiple people during that crime window. So highly unlikely. I think where David McCain became suspicious to people was because some people, I think, is it Daniel Pearson who says he saw someone, or is it Cheyenne? What's one of the later witnesses says they thought they saw Bridge Guy, and I think that was the older man, and he was dressed in a way that was similar to Bridge Guy because so many people could be, right? Yeah, it couldn't be McCain's car. No, you're right, see-through. And also because I think so now that we figured out what the tan Accord looks like, it has that more boxy shape of an older car, and that's why I think she said the angles were more similar. But yeah, she didn't think that it was actually his car. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You're a libertarian. I mean, anything's on the table here, particularly if we're talking about, a group of people who may have, I suppose, a level of power over others. Could there be other people on the periphery that are um, not actually actively involved, but are, loyal to that group? I guess that's a speculation we could make. But yeah. No, yeah, I see 911. I pretty much only rule people out. I try to really only rule people out based on, like, I guess the practicalities, but also I will think about, and we're going to talk about this more when we do the forensic unicorn series and continue with that. I do think the type of person that commits a crime of the type that we see in this case is a particular type of person, and that's not just FBI profiling, but it's more the I don't know. Yeah, it's more that, I mean, there's definitely sadism involved as far as I can see. We don't see that sort of a crime scene in just reactive violence, or even in organized crime. I don't think it. The um, type of behavior here isn't. Not necessarily, Scott. So, I mean, there are some, there were some terrible cases here. Anita Cobby is absolutely devastating case in Australia, and there's another one. I forget Janine. Her name is, I think, Janine something. But they're gang crimes, um, which were sadistic and horrific, and they were multiple members of a group. So when I say gang crimes, not a gang as in the official gang, but it was a group of people. Oh yeah, RC991. Yes, for sure. I agree with you. I'm just having a look at the other comments. Sorry if I missed some of them. I love reading all your comments. Yeah, USA Libertarian, you're gonna love the forensic unicorn stuff we're doing tomorrow, because a lot of the sadistic kind of pattern killers are definitely more extroverted. At least they have more of that sort of superficial charm and charisma. Yeah. Yeah. So that we're going to talk about that a lot. Yeah, and apparently there are different types of sadism. You're right, Scott. I was because I mean, look, it's not my expertise, sadism for sure. I mean, very few sadists come for therapy, at least not voluntarily in private practice or anything. But yeah, when I looked into it, I believe there's like 4 types is what I was sort of looking into. So I might have to look into that a little bit further. Yeah, I've never had a sadistic client in I don't even I looked realistically, even when I worked in the forensic system, I wouldn't say there was a lot of the sadism either. Yeah, no, I agree. RC991, there's certainly, we don't want to rule anyone in particular out. You'll say libertarians, as we know so little. Yeah, I mean, look, I still go by the phone data, which isn't obviously a direct understanding of what actually truly happened to the girls, but I do feel like it was fairly quick. Whatever happened to the girls happened fairly quickly. I don't think it was prolonged. I think it was prolonged pain for the girls in those final moments. And that makes me very, very sad. But I don't think it was prolonged in the sense of like hours and hours. Somebody today posted the crime scene pictures on X again to try and make a point against the Free Recallan people, which just to me was just disgusting. Again, I don't understand why people would do that. I'm going to judge that because I like imagine if that were your kids. Like, yeah, for goodness sakes, it's awful. It's really awful. Oh goodness. Yeah, see through that definitely could be a theory. I mean, that's certainly very unusual that we are yeah, that we see why the dress and the not dressed and the change of clothes. Ribbit, are you hearing the frogs, Anarch? These bloody frogs. I tuned them out and now you've just got me onto them again. Yeah, you're right. You're a libertarian. We don't know for absolute certain. 100%. Yeah, because I think that the phone itself, I feel like we've got a pretty good idea of what happens with the phone, but that doesn't necessarily translate to what happened to the girls. You're right. Um, yeah. Scott says I could refer to them to help with your opinions, like looking at the crime scene pictures. Yeah, I mean, of course, I think um, obviously there's detail in a crime scene picture that's going to help you to understand a case, but I think, yeah, putting them on a public platform to make a point is it's just not necessary at all, and horrific for the families, horrific, also just for the girls and their dignity as well. And I know my good friend Holly, the second location, has brought this up before when bits of the pictures have been shown, even if it's parts of them. I think it's just horrible. I hadn't seen them. I'd seen, like I said, parts of them, and I'd generally seen Abby rather than Libby. But yeah, when I saw them, and I've still seen the ones where they've sort of blocked out areas, but yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. Yeah. I think, look, I mean, for the investigators, it's important, of course, to see them, and it helps them to understand what it looked like. But oh, yeah, it's pretty sickening. It's really sickening, and it's really sad. Yeah, so there's only yeah, I mean, I believe there's a lot more pictures, but, oh, 53 subs go, Anak. It will keep increasing, and you're absolutely welcome to share your channel on here, Anak. I should, give you a wrench so you can do that. Let me see if I can do that off my computer. It's hard to do sometimes, though. Here you go. There you go. Feel free to share away. Everybody's allowed to share the links to their own channels on here. Like, this is a community, unless your channel is promoting something really terrible, which I know it wouldn't be, Anarch, but you're absolutely welcome to share your channel on here for sure. Yeah, anyway, so really sad. I just don't think we need to use the girls' pictures to make a point in a debate, that's for sure. It's really sad. But yeah, I think I was just saying, my friend Holly made that point, that imagine the families of the girls, like if they saw that, I mean, it's your worst nightmare. Just, yeah, horrible. Yeah, Scott, I probably don't agree with you on that. Like, so you were saying lots of things there that you think refute multiple offenders. Oh, Dita, my buddy's here. Lovely to see you, Dita. Welcome. We're just talking about the crime scene photos, Dita. Like, we're really going on a million tangents today. We haven't stuck to the cars. We're still on the same document, but yeah, we've been talking about today. I saw the crime scene photos on X again. I didn't see them previously. I know there was a period where they were up before, and now they're up again. Someone trying to make an argument against Rick Allen by posting those pictures, which is really sad. I do think that. Oh, good night, Mustang. Have a good sleep. Good sleep. I'll speak to you tomorrow, I'm sure. Okay, sorry. We'll move off it. We will definitely move off it. Oh, I like Michelle After Dark. Yeah, she's awesome. I definitely followed her quite a bit um, through Delphi and some other cases too. She's great. Yeah. And I think she's a psych major or graduate too. Yeah. Yeah, Dita. It is awful. We're going to move on from the pictures because it is very sad and I think unnecessary. But yes, I do still have theories around staging and ritualized killings and sadism, and we'll talk about that more when we talk tomorrow. But yeah, so just going back to the cars, so we've kind of figured out Dave Riley and Fred Coghill. Dita, the thing that we were just talking about before you came in was Fred Coghill. is doing a really quick trip to the cemetery. And we're not trying to say that he's suspicious, but just curious as to whether he's picking someone up or what he's doing at the cemetery, because it's just a very, very, very quick drive-by. But yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine. I don't visit cemeteries very often. My loved ones, we put their ashes in the ocean, so it's a slightly different experience. So I don't know. Would somebody just drive by just to maybe switch the flowers? Possibly. I guess as well. I was just thinking. Yeah. I mean, if you go every single day and you just want it fresh and tidy, maybe that's what it was. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So we've got Dave McCain, so he is observed arriving at 2:44, and he sees Dave Riley's car, which makes sense. Dave Riley hasn't left, and he sees a white station wagon type car when he arrives. And this is where it's confusing, right? Because then people are saying, well, that means Derek Jones there at 2:55. I just think memory for cars is not great here. I think it's more reasonable that he's remembering Derek's car when he leaves, and potentially he's seeing Shelby Hicks's car when he arrives. I just don't think that that means Derek was there. And yeah, I don't think Derek was there at 2:44. That doesn't make sense. I don't have any I don't believe that the families are involved, again, because of the crimes. Yes, of course, family members can hurt other family members, but again, if that happens, it's not going to usually be in the fashion that we see here. And I'm going to talk about that more. I've got a plan for a video about the families, and it's really a supportive video for the families and really kind of making a case for people to understand, I guess, some of their decisions and their behaviors too. So we'll do that in a little while once we've got through some of these other videos. I've always got new video ideas. Yeah, see through. I think it seems strange here, but I don't think Derek's car is actually there at 2:44. I think this is sorry, Spooky's chewing. Spooky, stop. Hey, mister, stop. We got the frogs, we got a chewing dog, we got a purring cat. We got a purring cat. No, I can't hear you purring. Sorry. Anyway, back to this. I don't think that anybody is seeing. No, well, I think Derek's car. Yeah, I think you're right, but I don't know. It's so confusing, isn't it? Wait a minute. Let's go down a bit. So Shelby and Daniel arrive on the video. Oh, okay, right. So when McCain arrives, the only person there is Riley, David Riley. So who's the white car? I think that the white car is what he sees when he comes back. They park at the trailhead and they see a white Subaru. Oh, okay. So they're seeing Derek's car there too. I don't know. I mean, it just seems a bit early for Derek to be there, doesn't it? But nobody saw Derek walking around that early. I don't know. It is, you're right, see-through. It's confusing, isn't it? This whole one page here, though, has just so much in it that just seems really inconsistent, doesn't it? You know, because Dave Riley doesn't see Derek's car, does he? What does he say he sees when he leaves? Do we know? He sees Shelby Hicks and David McCain. I just feel like, well, that's right, exactly. See-through. He's saying that he sees it when he arrives, but again, I think people are confusing this. It's the same with Betsy Blair. I just feel like Betsy Blair sees two cars and she's muddled them up. Memory for cars, the research tells us that it's very, very poor. So I honestly think everything's all getting muddled together here, which is why I don't place too much emphasis on memories. It's about the overall pattern, and the overall pattern here suggests that these cars kind of come in the order that we would expect them to. But yeah, it is a bit odd, the wording. I also think that the wording is just odd, full stop, for this whole document. So, okay, we got to the end of it, guys. We got to the end. We know all the different cars. I'm working on a document like this. Let me see if I can pop this on the screen. I may not be able to. I'm working on a document. I did have a look at yours too, Scott, your spreadsheet on this. But yeah, I'll try and upload something that has at least the names of the cars and who sees who. Yeah. But okay, so we've got through the cars. We got through that one page in the end. It is hard. Oh, we didn't talk about Maya Abbott and Carl Abbott as well, but yeah, I mean, I think that we got through the most important stuff on there. The frogs just escalated again just then, guys. Oh, they drive me nuts. Okay, so actually, I didn't go back to the poll. So we have how many people voted? 14 votes. Good, good, good. There are people not chatting in here, but they're voting, so that's good. So if we've got 14 votes and 71% of people think Rick is not guilty, and about 30% think he is. So what's that going to be? It means about 4 people in here think Rick's guilty, and about 10 think he's not. So yeah. Okay, so who are the guilters? I know you don't like that, Scott, being called a guilter. I feel like Scott and see through. I think you guys both think Rick's guilty. I'm like outing everybody here. I don't mean it in a rude way, but I think you guys both think he's guilty. I think Mustang may have also voted. We know Mustang tends to think that Rick is guilty. I know that Kelly, Anarch, and myself and Dita, we're probably all on the same page. So who else has been voting? Oh, USA Libertarian as well. Not guilty, I'm guessing. And who are the secret voters? Is Quietly Concerned still in here? No, I think she was just listening. RC991 as well. Okay. All right. So last thing about the cars was I was going to read you guys the transcripts, little bits of the transcripts. I guess Mullins basically makes out like he Oh, I just realized, sorry guys, I was reading that document and instead of having the document on the screen, I just had the map on the screen. But anyway, never mind. You guys don't mind, I'm sure. 60% not guilty, USA Libertarian. Awesome. Yeah, I was right, Dita. I know Dita's probably on the same page. Yeah, pretty much on the same page as me. I'd be like 90. Oh, I mean, I think it's hard to ever be 100% that like about the innocence, but I would be like 95%, pretty high. I can see you're looking see-through. And that's what, again, I love in here is that everybody is open. Like nobody is so stuck on their opinion that they're willing to get into arguments with each other about it. And what we were talking about before, put up crime scene photos to, prove a point. And that's what I really love about this community. And anyone who's lurking, please know that. I've never seen anyone in this community in our chats argue about guilt and innocence in a way that's really negative and unfair. So lurkers, please come in. I know I sound really intense and I am, but I'm nice, aren't I? RC991, I know you're not guilty. I'm pretty sure. Holman himself says Klein lured them out there and Rick has zero connection to him. Yeah, I'm dubious about the Klein connection. Again, I always have these unpopular opinions, don't I? I don't bite. No, I don't. But Kai does, and Spooky doesn't really. But Kai definitely can bite sometimes, so be careful of him. It is a good chat, Kelly, and you're one of the reasons it is. You're lovely. USA Libertarian. We could break it down by parts, by personality and temperament. 90% not guilty in his interrogation. 100%. And I think even people who thought he was guilty watched the interrogation and think he looks innocent. I remember Tom Webster saying that when the exhibits first came out. And personality wise, I think I'm going to be able to completely convince you guys with the Forensic Unicorn series. Like there are so many parts to that where you can go, he just doesn't tick the boxes. Like, and if he really is the offender, I mean, he would be the most interesting case study because he just doesn't match with any known offenders. And yeah, like I said, we're going to keep going. Okay, guys, we're at 992. I feel like we're on New Year's Eve or something. We're like counting down. Dita's saying, I can discuss with other opinions because if you're 100% certain of guilt, why would you be here now after conviction? I assume you're open to discussion. Yes, absolutely, Dita. Absolutely. I'm really impressed because I literally don't even need mods to step in. Like I think it was maybe the first couple of chats. Like maybe there was one guy that just repeatedly came in and he would, I mean, realistically, he wasn't being nasty. He was just saying silly things, like, just a bit absurd. But we haven't had any nastiness, which, seems to be rare in the Delphi community. So love that. We're enjoying the 1,000 sub countdown. Are we going to stay on till we get the 1,000 subs? No, because I'll be up all night doing that. I think we've got to wait for that 8. I don't think they're going to come now, but by the morning, watch this space. We have, hey, what's the lowest we got you to, Scott, in terms of your percentage? You're at 87. Wasn't 87 the low? I thought you went up again, but now you're down again. Probably the highest in terms of guilt I ever went. I did tip at one stage towards guilt. That was around a lot of the timeline stuff. But once I figured that stuff out, I leaned back the other way again to innocent. And that was probably around, February, March, maybe March. I can't really remember. But yeah, probably for the last 6 months, I've been pretty close to certain of his innocence. And obviously, you'd hope so because I made the advocacy website and I've been putting all this stuff in. Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was Kathy's interview. Did we change your opinion, Ash and I, when we talked about her interview? Yeah, I agree. With you, you would say libertarian guilters is usually what we're talking about. The people who are, who are mean to people, like say, you're simping for a child killer and things like that. It's more the trolling. Believing he's guilty doesn't mean you're a guilter. Oh, I've got way more where that came from, Scott. Don't you worry. We've got way more to talk about the psychology here. USA Libertarians want to rewatch the Kathy interview. Yeah, look, just PSA, if anyone's watching the Kathy interview episode, just skip ahead the first hour because it's just me reading bits of it. I just wasn't super prepared, but also because Ash hadn't heard it, so I kind of had to read bits out, but it was a little bit boring because I was also reading it all myself rather than having it back and forth. But the analysis kind of starts at the 1 hour mark, and I'm sure we'll get Ash back on the show again soon as well. She loves to do the stuff with me, and we're spending probably most of our Christmas New Year break together, so we will absolutely create more content during that time so we can have more of her opinions. I just felt so validated because I kind of already knew, but I didn't want to like bias her, but I knew she was going to talk about the same sorts of things as me. Oh, you're a libertarian, you enjoy boring. Good. Well, I mean, you're on here a lot, so you must enjoy this me going on and on and on. Oh, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, Ash and I, we've worked together for about 5 years now, and I'd probably say we're best friends, in a way. It's not in that kind of like it's it's like it's an adult friendship, so we wouldn't call ourselves BFFs or anything, but we really get on, and I think we're really a bit of a yin and yang in a really positive way when we come together. So we did record some episodes of a podcast together around psychology, and we'll eventually get to that too. Yeah. So, and Ash has no bias here. Ash doesn't follow the case. Has only heard bits and pieces through the panel and through me. Sometimes hyper fixating on it, but yeah. Yes, see through. That's the interview that we're referring to for sure. The one at the vets. Oh, hey, Naughty Monkey. Nice to see you. If you think he's guilty, please let us know how you got there so we can see it. Yeah, for sure. You know what we might do? Because I was sort of saying like we could have like an open question and answer kind of event. I think maybe we could do that. I know some people might not want to come on camera, but we could just focus on just chat messages and anyone who does want to join the stream and just have a friendly discussion about all of our different thoughts and ideas. Yeah, USA Libertarian. Oh, hey, Nicole. Nice to see you. I'm just going. I'm going to go back USA Libertarian. I want to get to your comment, but I just want to see Quietly Concerned's comment, and I can't see them on the screen, so apologies, but you guys can see them. So I'm kind of having to scroll back. So there's an ex-FBI agent who guests on another YouTube channel who doesn't think Rick's guilty. He thinks the investigation was flawed, and I always agree with his points. Yeah, there's a few, aren't there? Yeah, I think I've seen that. I forget what the channel is, but I know the one you're thinking of. I can picture in my head. And I also think, didn't even Jennifer Coffinduffer, I believe, is that how, I hope I said her name correctly, but I think she thinks that Rick may be innocent too, which I think she doesn't tend to lean innocent a lot of the time. So yeah. USA Libertarian says BTK Gary Ridgway fooled the relatives, but Richard Allen doesn't give manipulative vibes. Yeah, and so that's what we're going to really talk about, the difference between BTK and yeah, we can certainly look at whichever offenders we like and how different they are to Rick. Like the double life thing, yes, people can maintain a facade of, I guess normalcy or whatever, but they're living this double life. But Rick just doesn't have any indicators of that. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow for sure. Lovely to see you, Nicole. How are you? How are the pups? We got to see Nicole's lovely, lovely, cute doggy yesterday. Such a cutie. Dita, always so beautiful and kind in your feedback. Yeah, I try not to ever be nasty because, we don't know what someone else is experiencing in their life. I don't think there's a need to be nasty. So I will sometimes get intense and, speak my truth and disagree, but definitely don't want to be nasty. Yes, Scott, you give us your reasons. Scott will document them down, put them in a document because Scott just refuses to actually come and talk live with us. I don't know why, because I think it would be so awesome to hear your point of view, Scott. But yeah, you can certainly do a document and we'll read it together. I mean, yeah, I guess that's probably another option. If anyone doesn't want to talk but wants to give their opinion, if you send me a little typed up document, we can read it out. Happy to do that. I feel like I'm going to set an essay for everyone. Okay, essay task. Write an essay on why you think Rick is guilty or isn't guilty, or why you're sitting on the fence. As it could almost be like a debate night. Debate night, yeah, that would be cool. There you go, guys. You got homework. Just reading through the chat. Just going to keep going. Nicole's talking about Cuff and Duffer. She knows ballistics. Yeah. You know what really upsets me is that there were people talking about the ballistics as though it was like so genuine. And I think we were talking about Hidden True Crime before, and I think I saw that on her channel, and I was just like, yes, tool mark analysis, all good. There are certainly some good studies for it, but not this tool mark analysis where you're comparing spent and unspent rounds, where you've had to test them multiple times to get the answer that you wanted. So anyone who doesn't know about the toolmark analysis, please do watch the toolmark live that I did probably several weeks ago now. We were saying before, there are so many pieces of evidence in this case. So if you're new, you may want to go back. So what I would definitely recommend, geofencing and the toolmark analysis, those two weren't so much evolving opinions. They kind of were right up off the bat, a lot of research-based stuff. The phone stuff is more an evolving opinion. So if you're going to watch the phone stuff, you can watch the whole process, or you can just watch the latest video about that, because that goes on and on and on. Oh, the puppies are good. That's good. You hate your voice, Scott. Listen to my voice. It's like a foghorn. So you've got an essay on what you think happened at the crime scene. Well, you should let us know. I wrote a theory of what I think happened back, a few months ago, and it's interesting because I've wavered from it at times, but I'm still pretty stuck on it. So happy to share it at some point too. Quietly Concerned says the FBI being kicked out was interesting, catastrophic. Absolutely. Kelly, you want to do debate night? Will you come up and talk to me? We should. See through. You want to come and talk to me? We'll do debate night. That'll be super fun. And see through. Yeah, you're thinking about the girls. So let's go back and do the timeline again, and let's see if I can convince you otherwise. Back when I did the timeline stuff was very early on, and no one was particularly open to it. But I was also a small channel then, so maybe now everyone will look at it, and we might kind of get some new ideas. Yeah, we don't get a straight answer. You're right. I don't know about the Skeleton Boys data. I've been so fixated on Delphi. I haven't really been following any other cases. In the past, I used to like be a lot more broad in my true crime interests, and yeah, recently, I think the only other case that I've really looked at, more recently, I looked a little bit at Karen Reid when it was going on, but not much. Is the Adelsons? I don't know who in here is interested in Dan Markel and the Adelsons. That case fascinates me. Yes, USA Libertarian. That's exactly what happens. And I think if you get a couple of experts saying the toolmark analysis is, a foregone conclusion like DNA or something, then people will believe it for sure. Oh, Kelly, you don't need to apologize at all. We can chat about anything you like. Yeah, I'm happy to. Like when you guys are all in here and chatting, like if we get onto different topics, that's fine. I mean, that's what the lives are for sure. And anyone listening in on the lives and the replay, if they kind of wanted the bare bones content and stuff, I am going to really try to start making like short form videos like I did the other day with the kind of Delphi primer. So that if they just want the bare bones facts and they don't want all of the chat and questions and answers and stuff, they can look at that too. Some investigator believed that the actual round they found had been cycled through the gun a few times before the crime. Yeah, I heard something like that too. Oh, for sure, Nicole. Yeah. I mean, the research basically shows that's unprecedented, like comparing. So, even comparing a cycled round with a cycled round wouldn't be the best because I forget what they're called because I did all the research on this weeks ago. The chamber striations and all of those things. But yeah, the main ones are from firing the gun, not from cycling it. So, even comparing unspent to unspent cycled would be problematic. But when you're comparing unspent cycled round to fired round, that's totally not at all validated. Yeah. Well, everyone hates their voice. I know. Look, when I listen to myself back, I really don't like it either. But I've got better. I've got more used to it now. In the early days, I really struggled with it. Yeah, I would have loved to see somebody talk about the Hoosier Harvester footage too. Just gonna keep going down. Yeah, if it was fired, it would have been much more accurate. Sorry, I'm behind on the comments now, guys. I'm 3 minutes behind you guys. Sorry, I'm being a bit slow now. Yeah, if it were a fired round, I think that would be a lot more accurate. Although that said, still some people, I think there's courts in Oregon. I think it was an appellate court decision. I remember Diana sharing this that had said even in that case that they had said even with fired rounds that it wasn't accurate enough. I'm just reading through. Oh, you poor thing, Anarch. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, Scott, in terms of what you're saying around the AI analyzing the ballistics data, yeah, they're trying to find more digital ways of comparing them so that it's not just based on the person looking in the microscope and comparing them. It's interesting because I likened it to in cancer. They do something, they do various histology reports, but one of the things they do is something called the Ki-67, and it's a marker of the cancer to do with proliferation, I believe. And basically, they've said it's really quite inaccurate. And, so some people say, it can be a marker of the aggressiveness, and some people say it doesn't matter, and they have various different cutoffs. And it really can have that observer to observer difference, because at the moment they literally are just counting, I believe. And it sounded to me so similar to what we're hearing in terms of this tool mark analysis. And I was thinking, again, with the Ki-67, the reason I know this is because, of course, having breast cancer, I remember my doctors being like, well, your overall Ki-67 is, it's moderate, it's not too high, but your Ki-67 hotspot is, 65% or 60% or something. And that's why, you need to do chemo and things like that. And I was like, oh, okay, what does that mean? And it was like so much of this like newer science coming in, and they're really now trying to kind of, again, find digital tools to look at all of this to make sure that we're not just relying on the human eye. Yeah. Oh, Kelly, you don't even have to be on the video. You can just talk like me. Like, I go on video like during the day sometimes. I don't really like going on the video too much, but if I'm having a day where I feel like my hair isn't standing up at right angles, but like at nighttime, I'm in my nightie. Like, no way, I'm coming on and showing the raw me. Not that I'm like super made up when you see me, but yeah, I'm sitting in a nightie on my couch. So, and I probably got big bags under my eyes. Okay, I'm just reading through. Just going to keep going down. Yeah, USA Libertarian. She couldn't rule out the other ones either. Oh, quietly concerned. Yeah, you definitely join. Like, come and chat. Like, so what we'll do is we'll do a dedicated show where we can have whoever wants to come on and chat. I don't know the maximum amount of people we can have on, but yeah, we could always have a few people on and then do some more people after. But I think we can have quite a few. So yeah, what chat? I actually was thinking we might start like a regular slot that's more just like discussion chat, and where we don't have a particular topic. So anyone who's here just to find out, bare bones of the case doesn't have to join, but anyone who wants to have a chat can. I don't know, Dieter, about the hair. I mean, yeah, the hair, even the hair around the fingers, it's odd. I'd love to know if someone can explain that. I don't personally think that there's anything nefarious there, but yeah, I'd be really curious. Sorry if I'm missing any comments. I'm still a bit behind. I'm catching up. And with Rick's gun, they tested, I can't remember again because it's been a while since I did that presentation, but it was like, wasn't it like 9 rounds or something, and only one of them somewhat matched? It was something like that. And it was like, I remember being like, if you do a pregnancy test and 1 out of the 9 shows you're pregnant, does that mean you're pregnant? I mean, well, pregnancy test is still more accurate probably than this anyway. But yeah, COVID test, there you go, be another good one. Okay. Yeah, Scott, I think that may be about the hair as well. Yeah, Kelly, the jurors said that, but I don't even know what the jurors did rate though. I think that's what's so hard. Yeah, the pregnancy tests are super good these days. I mean, gosh, almost too good. I remember when I was trying to conceive, I just remember the amount of times I'd be like taking them from like just way too early. But yeah, you do sometimes see, you squint and you see that little line and the baby is there. Night, Anarch. Thanks so much for joining as always. Thank you so much for all your support on the channel as well. Really, really appreciate it. All right, guys. You know what? It's getting late. It's 11 and I didn't sleep super well last night. Let's do one last sub check. Okay, ready? Oh, 998, guys. 998. Two more. My goodness. Thank you so much, everybody. I know some of the subscribers may not be actually actively participating, but if they are, awesome. If they are, we'd love to see them. Yay, 998. We're two away. Goodness, it's like the countdown. It really is. It's so exciting. I actually cannot believe it. That means that the channel will be formally monetized, everybody, and not monetized by just expecting other people to contribute. It actually is from the advertising, which I much prefer because I don't want to feel like people have to like dip into their pockets for the channel. But that will be awesome, amazing, and just maybe recoup just the few subscriptions and things. And the time I put into it doesn't really bother me that much because it's kind of like my hobby anyway. So it doesn't worry me. But yeah, that's super exciting. Okay. Well, yes, in the morning, watch this space, guys. Okay. Let's see. Yes, I know, Nicole. We always have to say allegedly, in my opinion. Yep. Okay, well, look, thank you so much, guys. This has been a really nice live, good chatting. We didn't talk too much about the cars, but we got our points across. The main things being Wesley McWhirter and why he wasn't used as a state's witness. Nothing to do with him, but more to do with why the state wouldn't have wanted to use him to pin down Rick's car being at the trail still after the abduction. So interesting. All right, guys. Well, have a good night. Tomorrow, in 12 hours, in fact, we will all be doing a self-check on sadism. So obviously that's tongue in cheek. There's no part of me that expects that anybody in here is sadistic. So just be aware of that comment in my community. It was just tongue in cheek. But we're going to talk about sadism. I think it'll be a really interesting topic. I'll look into the 4 types too, Scott. I'm going to go to sleep listening to a podcast on sadism because that's the sort of stuff I usually do anyway. And yes, please do email Nick and ask him how he's going. And yeah, make sure that you wish him a happy Thanksgiving from us. Oh, Dita, I was getting those vibes from you for sure. For sure. And Nicole with all her dogs, you know, she loves her dogs. That's just definitely a bad sign. Yeah, tell Nick that I got my 1,000 subscribers by the time you email him, and that I'm doing a really good job of debunking the state's case. So I'm sure I will get a Christmas card. Okay, guys. All right. Good night, everybody, or good morning. Have a lovely day. I will see you all in 12 hours. Bye bye.